Hey, it's Conrad the Mortgage Guy, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
I was looking at that open that we just did. First of all, are you talking into your microphone? Is your microphone working today?
You don't think it is?
It just sounded kind of echoey, but that's okay.
Oh, you know what? You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Wrong input. Look at you.
How about that? Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm one of them audio type guys. So anyway, I was looking at that open. I was thinking, Mike, I've done a lot of stuff for a long time.
You think?
Wow. Sometimes it really doesn't sink in, but when you look at something like that, it sinks in. It really does. So, hey everybody, thanks for being with us on What Happened When as we move into the month of September, and things started getting cooler, except in Atlanta. It's miserably hot here. We appreciate everybody being with us and everybody that maybe joined us last night live on ad-free shows. Ask Tony anything. That was a lot of fun. We're going to be doing more of those. We're doing more of those here on our What Happened When Patreon channel or page, however you want to describe it, and we'll do them on ad-free shows as well. So
Rajiv is with us here live as a part of our live studio audience. We greatly appreciate him hanging out from adfreeshows.com. And he says, that might be our first. That's exactly right, Tony. Well done, Conrad.
Yeah.
Hey, I learned it from watching you, okay?
Yeah, man.
Watching you.
Yeah. Well, I learned you something, as they say in Virginia. I learned you something. Hey, I got the guys from Craigsville coming to Atlanta. And that's going to be coming up this weekend. We're going to go see the Braves play. And
badass. These are your childhood friends or whatever?
Yes, my childhood friends. 5 of them are coming in. They're driving from Virginia. I know at least for 4 of them, they've never been to Atlanta. They've never been to a big city. The biggest city these guys have ever been is probably Roanoke or Richmond. So it's going to be quite an experience.
Oh, you know what? That's right. I forgot. As a reminder, if you're listening to this, tonight is your next to last chance to go see AEW at the famed ECW Arena at the corner of Swanson and Rittner. Of course, these days it's called the 2300 Arena, but tickets are on sale now at AEWTIX.com. As a reminder, Thursday is when you guys are doing Collision. So you got the weekend off. How about that?
Yeah, kind of. I still got to work on the show a little bit on Friday night, do some audio repairs. We go back, we listen to it and say, well, he should have said it this way, or he needs to pitch to something else. And we do those we usually do those I'll probably do those on Thursday night and then again on Friday night and then do a cleanup on Saturday morning. And then Sunday, we're going to go to the baseball game. So I kind of have the day off. I'm kind of tied to the computer here at their house most of Saturday morning, but that's okay. So in effect, it is a weekend off. And I'm looking forward to that.
In honor of us celebrating your residency at the former ECW Arena, I thought it would be pretty cool to show Don Callis and his ECW Arena entrance comparison, because we all remember he was Cyrus the Virus back then, and he was a big part in the final days of ECW. And now, of course, we know he's just the meanest, nastiest, most awful, vile person on television.
Terrible person.
And I know that Silva's got some fun stuff for us to look at here.
Okay.
Excuse me. Really? Excuse me.
How great is that, dude?
Wow.
The more he changes, the more he stays the same.
That is tremendous. It's still, because I've only known the bald Don. Personally, it still blows me away to see him with hair and see him even in the pics that I've seen where he and Rick Martel were a tag team.
Long hair back then, too.
Yes. So that kind of always blows me away, but it's pretty cool. Don has done a hell of a job for us. He really has. He's really become a great heel manager. And it's because it's so easy for him, because in real life, he's such a shithead. So that's very easy for him. So yeah, that's good stuff, Dave. Thanks.
We want to give a shout out to our live studio audience. You too can be a member of our live studio audience by joining us at patreon.com/WHW Monday, or of course, adfreeshows.com. Shout out to Bad Money Slim.
Yeah, he's always here. Yep.
Greg Jacobson,
Yep.
Andre Canty, Coach
Andre.
Rosie,
Whoa.
Rajiv,
Oh,
Alex Wheaton,
all right.
James Elkarai, Brian F. Bryant Haremza's here.
Wow. James Elkarai has appeared again.
Yeah, buddy. And
Yeah.
Jack Gaffney's with us. We got a fun. Oh, TJ Stevens is here watching the Bears.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of people multi-screening tonight. They're going to be watching us and checking out Monday Night Football. Maybe there's some folks still checking out Raw. And who could forget, we're here to watch Saturday night's main event.
Wow.
And it went down on July 29th, 1989. According to Peacock, that's season 4, episode 7. So if you haven't already, get your Peacock out and pull up season 4, episode 7. And we're going to be watching a little Saturday night's main event from July 29th, 1989. One of your more memorable years in wrestling, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, it was a great year in wrestling for me. And I've said it many times that it's been up until I started working for AEW, and that was the single greatest year of my career up until AEW started. And and I say that because I learned so much about production, about how you treat storylines, about the right way to do things. And still today, when you work in this business and you work with someone who was taught the WWE production way, when you deal with someone like that, they know what the fuck they're doing. Case in point is Tommy Carlucci, who is one of our stage managers, and just is always on top of his game, and he learned the right way. And of course, Mike Mansouri did, and there's a bunch of people that work with us that did not work in the WWE, but still know what they're doing. But the WWE people were pretty special. So I learned the WWE system. I learned the production system. I came from a small time, mom and pop's organization. I've hammered that a lot here. And went to the work in Connecticut, and it was like, whoa, this is really how you do TV. So I learned a lot about TV there. So it was a great year. 89 was.
Well, I'm fired up for us to watch it. We hope you'll join us. Watch over on Peacock. It's season 4, episode 7. And man, we've got some fun stuff in store. I've been making some moves behind the scenes, Tony. And
really,
I think by this time next week, we might have something cool to announce that we'll actually be able to watch wrestling matches here on the program. So we won't have to just do second screen experience. We've got some really obscure stuff we're going to be able to play with. I think it'll be a good time.
I love obscure stuff. Let's watch some stuff. Yeah, it's great. So I'm really, really excited. I'm excited about this week coming up. It's been a great experience at the 2300 Arena.
Yeah, buddy.
I remember walking in and looking around thinking, wow, is this going to be good for television? And the fans have been phenomenal. Just been absolutely phenomenal. And so it's really, really been good. So I've enjoyed it. We're going to move on, of course, to Canada after that. We've got some dates in Florida coming up in October. As you know, we got a couple of pay-per-views moving on from All Out. It's going to be a great end of the year for us. Can you believe we're talking about the end of the year?
Dude, this year, I mean, you blink and this one has gone by, but we're excited that you guys are spending some time with us here today.
Yep.
Tony, you've been in the biggest of the big. You know, you were there doing commentary on the biggest wrestling show in history. Nobody will ever be able to take that away. Most tickets sold ever, Wembley Stadium. But you've also been able to call wrestling in the bingo hall. And for years and years, people would sort of slack off on ECW and talk about it in very unkind terms. But I've always believed, hey, man, the energy in the building is what you're after. And it may be, 1,000 people or 1,300 people or whatever the number is. But, man, the energy in that arena, the 2300 arena, it's something else, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very, very, it's incredible. It's, I didn't know what to expect. Let me ask you, when they're not doing wrestling in there or something like that, do they play bingo in there? Is that what they do?
No, they used to. The old original sign actually said
bingo.
Bingo. Yes. That's the reason they called it. But they do bar mitzvahs in there right now, Tony.
Okay. So they do. I mean, it's been, you can tell it's been redone on the outside, at least the front side of it. So you can tell they put some money into it, and the upstairs is pretty nice. Dressing rooms are small. We have to have separate offices outside And but it's all been kind of I like working close knit to where I don't have to walk all over the arena looking for a wrestler. When we need a wrestler, here's what you do. And of course, I've been chasing down wrestlers for a long time now to either go talk to someone or go out to the ring and work over something, or I don't know, go to a pre-tape. You look in catering, you look in medical, you look in the ring, or you look in the arena. Those are the places you look. When the arena is small, the ring's the ring. When the arena is small, it's easy to see around where they are. Sometimes they hide up in the rafters, so to speak. And if you got a long way to walk between, let's say, catering and or the medical, you can really put a lot of steps in. But this has been very close knit, so it's been very easy to find people. Can't get away from me at the 2300 arena, motherfuckers. I'll find you.
You know what? Listen, there's lots of people who aspire to have different things, different goals in their life. Maybe they say, hey, I'd like to own a home of my own, or maybe I'd like to have a vacation house, or it'd be cool if you had like an exotic car. Or, ooh, what if you could have like your own private plane? Wouldn't that be fancy? I mean, that's next level.
Wow.
Allegedly, the rumor and innuendo is the real money is when you can get your own trailer bathroom. Like when you have your own dedicated bathroom. That's pretty cool. And the rumor and innuendo is that Tony Khan, in the backstage area of the 2300 arena, has his own bathroom. If that's real, that is like peak living. You know that I'm particular. I like a washlet. I like wet wipes. But if my man took a look around and was like, we're going to need another bathroom.
Yeah.
If you've been to the ECW arena bathroom before, that is a luxury that you should never overlook. I'm all in on your own bathroom.
I don't go around checking out bathrooms, so I don't know.
Well, I don't know if it's true or not either, but all I could think was, buddy, that is money well spent. Just, can you imagine the horrors that have happened in that bathroom through the years?
Right. Well, you would think when the boss of a company wants something, he would get it, right?
Are you kidding? Of course.
I mean, he obviously has a coffee maker in his room, and it's just I've spent a lot of time in that room with him, and they also had the these matches for charity.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, the tributes for Dean, in partnership with Action. Yeah. I think a lot of our listeners know this, but Tony Khan, man, and I know people are going to send me a bunch of hate tweets. Go ahead, spell my name right. Hey, it's Conrad.
Hey, for you guys sending hate tweets, take a screenshot of this.
There you go. Thank you for that.
Okay.
But I was just saying, like, he's one of us, Tony. Like, he was on the message boards back in the day. One of my favorite message boards to check out was Death Valley Driver Video Review, DVD or VR. And I think Tony met a lot of his wrestling friends that he's still friends with to this day through that message board. Sure. And Dean was one of his friendships that blossomed, and sadly he's passed away. So they've done a series of really nice tribute shows, but the idea that he allowed it to happen sort of with the support of AEW, I think was really cool, and just goes to show you how much Tony Khan really truly loves wrestling and independent wrestling and wants to celebrate it.
And how good of a person he really is.
Absolutely.
To honor the family of Dean. So that's great.
Well, we got our niceties out of the way. We hope you're locked and loaded for us on Peacock. It's season 4, episode 7. Stay tuned, though, because we've got some really fun stuff on the other side. Well, maybe not fun stuff, interesting stuff.
Okay.
But before we do all that, we're going to have a little fun with what we're calling Tony's top 5 worst gimmicks. Yeah, we're going to be running through the absolute worst gimmicks. But before we do, here's a gimmick we can all co-sign. I mean, let's be real. Owning a handgun for self-defense comes with serious responsibility. You need it secure, but also accessible when it matters most. You see, too often that means choosing between locking it away or leaving it out, which means it's vulnerable to kids, guests, or intruders. And that's the problem Stopbox USA set out to solve. Man, I think they nailed it with the Stopbox Pro. We're talking 100% mechanical, keyless, battery-free lockbox that gives you instant controlled access to your firearm. There's no electronics, no keys, no codes required. Yeah, you heard me. No keys, no codes, no apps. Just a patented 5-button locking system that responds only to your unique input. Buddy, it's fast, it's intuitive, and it's built for muscle memory. So you're not thinking, you're reacting. And man, when seconds matter, man, that makes all the difference in the world. And with Stopbox Pro, you don't have to trade safety for speed or peace of mind for readiness. Your firearm stays secure, but always within reach. You don't have to worry about tariffs either. Everything is sourced right here in the USA. And did I mention the Stopbox Pro is also TSA compliant? And right now, for a limited time, our listeners can get 15% off at Stopbox when you use the code WHW at checkout. Head on over to StopboxUSA.com and use the code WHW for 15% off your entire order. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. So, Tony, this top 5 worst gimmicks ever, I think, was probably born out of what might be the worst gimmick promo ever. Dave Silva and I shared this a little bit back and forth next week, and that's the reason we decided to come up with the list. So I thought before we jumped into your list of Tony's top 5 worst gimmicks, and we want to hear from you, let us know your top 5 worst gimmicks in the comments here on YouTube.
Yeah.
Tony, let's take a look at what Silva and I think might be the worst gimmick promo of all time.
What would you like to be known as? I'll give him one of these, and I'll give him one of those, and one of these, and I'll give him one of those, and I'll choke him like this. All right, I'll choke him like this, and I'll give him. Oh yeah. I believe you, but we got to know who are you? Who are you actually? Who are you? What's your name? Okay, I understand. Hey, Sinister, come on in here. Easy, Big Daddy. Well, Big Daddy. Hey, I think we need a little interpretation. Who or what is it? All right, I'll give you interpretation, because that's what they do. He gives them one of these, and he gives them one of those. And you know who he gives it to? He gives it to Bruiser. Give him one, Daddy. Give him one. That's right. That's it. Man, look at this guy. Hey, look at this monster. Hey, what is it? Sinister? Right. What's the man? Is that guy crazy or what? Easy, big What is he? What's with this guy? I'm going to tell you what Who is he? I'm going to tell you who he is. All right. Who is he? He gives them one of those, and he gives them one of these. That's all the people need to know. Who is he? What's his name? His name is Monster Number 2, and he gives them one of these, and he gives them one of those. But I thought it was Monster Number 1. He's Monster Number 1, and he gives them one of these. Well, is he the
Tony.
That's actually very entertaining.
I mean, I don't know if you're thinking what I'm thinking, but we need to see that on Collision this week. Can you put in a good word with TK? Because I'll be honest with you, I think Silva is ready to be Monster Number 2 or Monster Number 1.
Well, you just got to say, I give him one of these, and I give him one of those, and I give him one of these, and I give him one of those. That's what you need to say.
Is it just me, or did that manager look like if Mickey Rourke was trying to do a tryout for Pirates of the Caribbean? Like if Mickey Rourke was trying to be Captain Jack Sparrow, that might be what it looks like.
Yeah, that's a good call. I actually think the guy, I just wanted to see the big guy, not him, when he walked in. But where's that had to, he said from, that had to be from the Midwest, right?
Buddy, I don't know where it is, but I'm thankful that it's here on WHW. And I'm also thankful that we're going to get a chance to break down Tony's top 5 worst gimmicks. These are Tony Schiavone's personal picks. We want to hear from you. Drop it in the comment section below here on YouTube. At number 5, Tony, you're giving us the Yeti. How does the Yeti come in at number 5 for you?
Well, I think we did it in reverse order, because when Dave asked me for it, I think I wanted to put Yeti number 1 as the worst gimmick. So, all
righty. Well, then it's number 1. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. It's once again, I go back to Arn Anderson's line that, of course, the Yeti was on one side, and I guess was the Giant on the other. Who was on the other side? And he was bungholing Hulk Hogan. And Arn Anderson said it best. He said, "Go kill yourself." He told Ron Reese, Go kill yourself. That monkey fucking the football gimmick just ain't gonna get it. So
What a line.
yeah. So that was number one. I'm sorry. I thought I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, no, that's okay. Another one on your list is the
Okay.
Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
Boy, you want to talk about a bad one from the WCW days.
Oh,
Tell us
God.
about the Loch Ness Monster.
Well, we did a big build-up for the Loch Ness Monster, and Jimmy Hart brought him in, and he was just big and fat and old and couldn't move.
You're talking about the real life giant haystacks.
Is it yeah, from Great Britain, the giant
Yes.
haystacks of Great
Yes.
That's right. But I think we kind of got him at the end of his career. And look, isn't he a handsome feller? Just one handsome feller.
By the way, he was working when you guys hired him.
Yeah.
He had been a debt collector
Of course.
and selling cars. So I think he would sell a car and then have to go repo the car and make sure people paid up.
Right.
And then you guys get him fresh off of knee surgery.
How about that? Huh?
Maybe
Look at-
not the best.
Look at that. Look at that face. Huh? Look at that fucking face. I guess Loch Ness Monster is the only, or Loch Ness is the only thing we could come up with.
Yeah, I mean, Loch Ness, my goodness. We should also mention another one on your list. It's regrettable. It's less than ideal.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. The Renegade.
Yeah. That was destined to fail because everybody knew what we wanted. We wanted our own Ultimate Warrior, and we pressured the kid into that. And of course, as we know, he did he take his own life later in life?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. So that's a regrettable one, but there's no question that he belongs on there. And I go back to that match against Paul Orndorff at Bash to the Beach, on Huntington Beach, on the beach. Just Paul, as great a worker as he is, just couldn't do much with that.
Well, it's a shame that Jim Herd didn't leverage this next one a little more, because anytime I think of this gimmick now, I'll always think of your impression. Tell us your least favorite Brad Armstrong gimmick.
The goddamn candy man. We want a goddamn candy man. Here's what we do. We'll give him a bag of candy, and he goes out and he walks out and he gives candy to the kids. And we'll call him the goddamn, they'll start chanting his name. Goddamn candy man. That's what I want. Can somebody give me a goddamn candy man? And I'm thinking, yeah, we'll go out with a bag of candy and hand it to kids like a pedophile, you dumbass. That was unfortunately, and Brad was, look at this. That's Brad from
Family Feud. He's on Family Feud.
Yeah, it was on Family Feud. And JR is there too. And Brad was a trooper, man. Brad was Candyman. He was Arachnaman. He would just do anything and was just a great, great worker. The Candyman didn't last long.
No, he did not. And unfortunately, Brad Armstrong, another guy gone way too soon.
Way too soon. Yeah.
He passed away in 2012. He was only like 50 years old, but
yeah, I think it was sleep apnea that got him, if I'm correct.
Man, I didn't know that. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, our last of Tony's top 5 worst gimmicks is also no longer with us. Dave Sullivan makes the list. Why didn't you like EVAD?
It was just stupid. It was just absolutely stupid. And God bless Kevin Sullivan, because Kevin came up with it and everybody thought, wow, he looks like Kevin. He could be Kevin's brother. And they went with it. And of course, he became a Hulk Hogan fan. And Dave was such a great guy. He did the best he could with it, but it just was, yeah, I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it. And I guess there's, God bless Kevin, God bless Hogan, God bless Gene Okerlund. No, all those guys no longer with us. Dave, I'm not sure.
Oh, wait, it turns out, yeah, I guess I'm incorrect. I knew that there was a Sullivan who had just passed away. I guess I got it backwards. Long day. Dave Sullivan was just on Briscoe and Bradshaw last week.
Was he really?
Well, he's still with us. Shout out to the real life Dave Sullivan.
Yeah, shout out to him, because he tried to make it work. It just didn't work, man. And it was, once again, it was, us trying to make something, and I mean, parallel it with the Renegade, right? Trying to take some green kids and push them up into a semi-main event status. So, yeah, so Dave did a heck of a job on that, but it didn't work. And of course, I guess another honorable mention has to go to the Shockmaster. But without the Shockmaster, will we've had one of the great moments ever in live TV? No, we wouldn't have.
By the way, I recently had a conversation with the fellow who did the pyro for WCW, Mr. Hellebrand, Keith Hellebrand.
Okay.
And he said that he could debunk that long-standing rumor. There was no walkthrough in the day. There was a walkthrough where they then rebuilt the wall and added the 2x4.
Mm-hmm.
Keith says, no, he just went through like up top first, belly first, you know, face first, whatever, and he just got tripped. So live to tape, here it is. The world saw it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think everybody, myself included, was under the impression that that was the second take and it was flawless the first time. That is not the case, according to Keith. So he sort of debunked that. And our live studio audience is throwing all kinds of other crazy ideas out there for worst gimmicks ever, including Beaver Cleavage, Droz's puke gimmick.
Okay.
The entire Dungeon of Doom from 1995.
Okay.
Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. WWE CW Zombie.
Okay.
The Kiss Demon.
Oh, wow. I like the Kiss Demon. Sorry.
Of course you do. The Zodiac.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Yes. Right.
And then I thought this was good. Rajiv says Black Scorpion was great until the reveal, and then easily one of the worst.
Okay. It's like, again, I've told the story many times. We came up with the Black Scorpion. I had no idea where we're going to go with it.
And they didn't either.
Yeah. Andre just said Disco Inferno. Disco's not a bad gimmick. He is just a stupid person. They're two different things. He's just an asshole, stupid person. That's all. Okay.
Well, we hope that you guys don't think that we're asshole, stupid people, and you'll watch Saturday night's main event from July 29th, 1989 with us. We're going Peacock season 4, episode 7. Tony, do you have a special countdown for us today?
I don't, but I can give you one out of my mouth here.
Okay. I love when you pull it out of your mouth.
I tried to get Lois to stop and do it, but she was too tired to do it. She's
too tired to say 3, 2, 1 play.
Yes, she was tired. So she had her cousins here this weekend, and the lady stayed up late gossiping for all 4 of them. It was something else. So here we go. Ready? Everybody ready?
I'm ready. By the way, if your wife can't give us a countdown, I can get mine to do it next week.
All right, sounds good.
All right, I'm ready when you are.
In 3, 2, 1, play.
Man, I got to tell you, I love these old school opens. And I think one of the things I like about it, obviously we love the logo and the chroma key and all that. But do you remember they had like that little, it was like a little jingle behind it. That was just like a constant. Let me see if I can play a little bit here.
Roast you like the weenie that you
Oh, yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, just, it's so repetitive, but man, it's cool. I don't know why.
It's like a build-up.
Yes.
It's the 80s. Oh man, Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Here he is.
And this is kind of ahead of its time. And I say that because these things were scripted by the people at NBC, by Dick Ebersol's people. And we never worked, wrestling never worked on scripting before. And now, of course, Vince does, WWE does a lot of it, and we do a lot as well. But these were scripts, and they stayed right to their script because they were very short. I say script more of the stuff if you want guys that can stay on time. And I love back then I didn't notice the halo around the heads because I just thought it was all cool, but you could see it. You could see the green. Look at
it looks like they're in Last Dragon. Yeah, they're glowing.
Right, exactly. And of course, they always end up with Hulk, and then they play that great song from the '80s, "Obsession," right? Which is just gives you the feels, buddy.
Man, watching Hulk Hogan in 1989 always hits me in my feels.
Yeah.
That's our go home promo. We're gonna get kicked off with the theme song for Saturday night's main event,
Dun.
which I still think is one of the more iconic
Yeah.
wrestling theme songs in history.
It's Obsession. Dun, 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 dun.
But yeah, I'll track just a minute here.
Yeah. Oh, that's not Obsession.
It's still cool though, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
I love it, dude. Makes me
Love it.
happy. It's really fun, and we're thankful that you guys are watching it with us here. We're watching Peacock, season 4, episode 7. Little Saturday night's main event action from late July 1989, and the questions are rolling. So if you got a question for Tony or myself, hit us up as a part of our live studio audience. And here's what's cool: because it's Saturday night's main event, we're starting with the main event first. So the Honky Tonk Man is going to be out here with Jimmy Hart first, and then the immortal Hulk Hogan will come back. I'm pretty fired up to about this one, especially if you know the backstory of how these guys got together. Hey, you know what? I don't think I realized it at the time, but it's obvious as you look at it now that Jesse and Vince, they're also on the chroma key because you can see the background bouncing around behind them.
Yeah, that's right. We also did in the WWE era, we would do some opens, and this was not done that way, but on Superstars and Challenge, we would do open where you would see the crowd and the camera would fly in. That was chroma keyed too. They would take a camera in the studio, and we would do the exact move with the camera that was in the arena. So it just we hit that guy in the ass here.
No, that's Jake the Snake,
okay.
and bam. Jake would tell everybody in a shoot interview years later
Mhm.
that it was that guitar shot over the head that he took
Right.
from Honky Tonk Man
Right.
that started his drug addiction.
Wow.
Because, you know, it was not a gimmicked guitar.
No,
it was just a regular ass, stiff ass guitar.
Yeah.
It injured his neck and his back, and he was in chronic pain.
Uh-huh.
You know, he took one and then one too many. And before you knew it, he was in bad shape. Now, of course, Honky Tonk Man never wanted to just shit on somebody else. He couldn't wait to dispute that.
Yeah. The Honky Tonk Man is, and I always got along with Wayne, but there were a lot of people in the business that didn't like him. And ask Eric Bischoff. But I always got along with him. He and I always had some pretty good conversations. And I go back to this, and it's true. Lois always says, well, you get along with everybody. Well, I try to.
That's the key to life.
You're right. I try to get along with everybody, even people that are not liked by other people. I try to get along with all of them. But in my job as a wrestling announcer, everybody's nice to me. And I realize that many of them are just nice people. Some of them are nice to me because, they want Schiavone to say something nice about me on TV. But what they don't get is that's my job. And regardless if you're an asshole or not, I'm going to say something nice about you on TV if it's my job to do that. But that there's a lot of people. I mean, when we go to an arena and we have all the extras come in, you know, that we haven't seen before, some of them go out of their way to introduce themselves to me like, hey, nice to meet you too. Like, you know, I'm a big fucking deal or whatever. But it makes me laugh. It does. I wouldn't call it trying to suck up to me, but they're just, I guess, trying to be nice.
When you think of the Honky Tonk Man's many outfits that he wore, is this not the most iconic one, don't you think?
Yes. Oh yeah. The blue with the guitar on the front.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty big deal. When you think about, they set up the Honky Tonk Man with the guitar and all the guitar shots and the storyline there, and now he's going to face the one and only Hulk Hogan.
Well, you probably had to establish some credibility with him to casual viewers. You know, you are on NBC. By the way, this is my favorite belt of all time that we see around the waist of Hulk Hogan here. It's a two-tone, or as we call it in the belt nerd world, dual-plated winged eagle. It's got a tight leather cut, but what's cool is even the world banner at the top, it's relieved, Tony. So meaning it's not just the same plate, it's like a stacked plate. That's like the most macked out, coolest version of the belt there is. They only made that quote unquote two-tone or dual plated version. You can sort of see the top of the world banner sort of shining when the lights hit it. But they only made that from 88 and 89 because by 90, when Warrior won, they were back to just all gold. Or not back to, they started just doing it in all gold. But those first handful of holders, whether it was Hulk Hogan, or I guess technically Andre the Giant and the $1 Million Man and the Macho Man Randy Savage, and then finally the Ultimate Warrior in April of 90, they held those dual-plated ones, and that's sort of my holy grail collectible that I've not been able to find that I would love to find one day, Tony.
Well, hope you get it, buddy. It's like me finding that Bob Gibson 1959 rookie card, right? Man, I tried to find that, and I kept saying, no, that's too expensive. No, I'm not going to do that. It's too expensive. No, let's do that. And I ended up spending a lot more for it than I wanted to because I finally got to the point to where I'm just going to get it. I don't care how much it costs. I'm going to get it. So I understand that when you're collecting. Well, we've had a couple of our listeners, viewers here today, like Jack Gaffney and let's see who else, Dave McClay. Both were talking about how nice the Honky Tonk Man was. That's smart.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if anybody has encountered me, with the exception, of course, Coach Rosie, who claims that I blew him off when I was trying to get to an airplane. If anybody who encounters me at a wrestling match, I try to be very, very nice to these people. Ask them their names, sign their autographs, do whatever I can. And it's I think every wrestler should be like that. Every wrestler, every person on television should take the time to say hello to the fans and thank them for coming. And if they want an autograph, give them an autograph. If they want a picture, give them a picture. Hey, if I sign a card, I signed 3 cards outside of the 2300 arena on Saturday night.
How about that?
Signed 3 cards. And I thought, well, they're going to end up on eBay and they'll probably make some money. Who gives a fuck? All right. I don't care. I haven't make a good living. And these 3 cards at most they're going to get is $20, $25. If they get $75 for 3 cards, God bless them, go to lunch. So I always take my time to sign autographs and to talk to people. Sometimes after the show's over, we're changing over and we got Ring of Honor coming up next and I got to take off really fast. But I really will take the time. And I'm glad to hear that Honky Tonk Man was very, very nice to the fans. That's smart. That's very smart. TJ Stevens just said, I can get Tony an ungraded Bob Gibson right now for $200. Kiss my ass, TJ.
Why do you why do you got heat with him? What did he do?
Well, he's just taunting me because I spent so much on my Bob Gibson card.
Oh.
He's taunting me. Now, TJ, I appreciate you, buddy. But I did spend a little bit more than 200. But 1959's complete. And let Bad Money Slim know I haven't broken into the Mickey Mantle PSA. I haven't broken into it because he was so adamant that I shouldn't last week. As a matter of fact, he got even pissed off. Look at Jimmy. Look at this. Jimmy Hart takes that bump. And the Honky Tonk takes a bump.
How fun is this, man? Really having a lot of fun watching the old Saturday Night's Main Event from '89. This is probably my either favorite, maybe second favorite year. I mean, as a kid, this was definitely it. But '97, as an adolescent, I think in '97 I was 15 and I turned 16. So, wrestling was just different for you at that age versus, whatever it was when you were 7 and 8 years old.
Yeah.
When I was 7 and 8, man, this was like, hey man, forget G.I. Joe and He-Man. This is where it's at.
Sure. And it was basically marketed towards kids. Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, which I understand is on the vault now. WWE.
Oh
vault.
yeah, they started rolling it out this past weekend.
Wow.
Every week they will upload another episode of Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling cartoon, which I think is pretty cool.
It was cool, and the live in between cuts they did were very cool as well with Gene Okerlund. Look at
one of the things I wanted to talk about, in the pre-match promos is we saw two different sets. You had like a heel set and a babyface set. The heel set, or I guess I don't even know if it was officially titled that or even unofficially, but Honky was standing in front of a pink curtain that was straight up and down.
Yeah.
And Hogan was standing in front of, I guess, pulled curtains, scalloped curtains, whatever you want to call it, that were silver.
Yeah.
And I know that you have talked about that in the past, that you think color, differences in a match mean a lot.
Yes.
And you often reference even Jimmy Hart when you're talking about that. From a television standpoint, was that an NBC call, as best you recall, a WWE call? And do you think it matters today in 2025?
Well, it doesn't matter today in 2025 at all. And right now, today, we just kind of find a spot. We used to, if you'll recall, had this big, gigantic set, and it just was very, very expensive, and they stopped carting it around. I guess we still have it. Now we just find locales within the arena. But those sets were best I remember, Bruce may know better than I, they were NBC type sets, and they always like to make it look different, like they were in different parts of the building, right? It's like in the old Crockett days, we used to do the heels on orange and the baby faces on blue, but they were side by side like this, and they just turned the camera here and shot these, and I would walk over here and turn the camera and shot those. So you just try to make it look different because you want to get the feel that, they're not in the same place. They wouldn't be in the same place. But best I remember, they were NBC because they weren't used anywhere else. What they used on the syndicated shows, if you'll recall, for the fly-ins, when, we would have a match and you would have a little fly-in, they would use like a gray background. They would not be chroma keyed. And that's what we used on the Superstars and Challenge. The local promos and things like that were on a chroma key background. They had some for the 80s. They had some phenomenal equipment. There's the big boot. Out goes Honky Tonk. I hope I'm at the same place that everyone is. I'm much on the Peacock, and I'm at 14, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Jimmy Hart just goes down, and he takes the woo. And now the Honky Tonk Man's going to, wow. I'm telling you, that's got to hurt, man. Even if you pull it, here comes a leg drop, and this is going to be the finish, obviously. And the fans fucking love it, don't they?
Dude, they pop huge.
What a star.
I mean, no doubt. At this point, just to give everybody the heads up, No Holds Barred had been out, I don't know, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. So it's probably out of theaters, or at least winding down. It's only in a handful of theaters. So Hulk is back, and we're fired up that he's back. We know that we're just a couple of weeks away from SummerSlam. Zeus is going to be involved. So therefore, Zeus is going to be on this show as well. And Tony, they took a commercial break and they came back, and Hulk is still posing, because this is very much the Hogan must pose era. It's crazy to think, because in this day and time in 2025, this would never happen. Where, when you come back from a commercial, you're going to be coming in hot, not just watching the guy pose and flex his muscles. That would never happen.
Well, again, there were many people that thought backstage, and I think and I may be wrong. Here comes rugged Ronnie Garvin in. I may be wrong to say that even Bruce Pritchard said this one time. He said, somebody said, the hell with the match. People want to see the posing. Yeah. That's what they come for. And that was, and Ronnie getting a little rub here with Hogan. Again, we would go out to Superstars and we would go out to Challenge, and we would have taped 3 weeks, 4 weeks of TV, whatever it was. They were all squash matches, right? Oh, they're showing footage of Greg Valentine holding the trunks of Ronnie Garvin.
Well, they're trying to explain the backstory of how Ronnie Garvin got involved and became a ref. And I thought it was kind of fun and strategic what they did there.
Right.
When they come back from break, Hogan's still flexing, but it's done just so he can put over Ron Garvin to establish to the audience at home, hey, he's a good guy because he's friends with Hulkster.
But he takes no bullshit, because he just knocked out Iron Mike Sharp, and now the Brooklyn Brawler's going to go down from the punch from Ronnie Garvin. Like, boom, gut shot, and boom. Anyway, what was my story here? What's
You were
that?
talking about how the shows could go forever, but they'd stick around for Hulk Hogan posing.
That's right. That's right. They would book, which was to me the right way to do. They would book Hulk Hogan in a match at the end of the night, and they would advertise that. So the fans hung around the taping, mostly just squash matches, because they wanted to see Hulk Hogan. And that was very, very well done. Now they just talked to Jack Tunney, and here comes, I guess Jack Tunney said that Ronnie Garvin can't hit wrestlers anymore. I don't know. A little story going on here. Hey, Jason Taylor asks, why was this not a DQ? Hogan used a foreign illegal object right in front of the ref. Jason, you know the answer to this, don't you? The answer is because it's Hulk Hogan, for crying out loud.
Hulk Hogan always cheated. He
That's
was
right.
never called out on it.
Right.
But it didn't matter because
Yeah.
you were pulling for Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, hit him.
How about this? Greg the Hammer Valentine and Jimmy Snuka. I know WWF fans probably don't think much of this match in '89, but a few years prior to this would have been a big time match in the
Yeah.
Carolinas, would it not?
You're damn right it was. And it probably was in the Carolinas.
Yes.
Yeah, because both of them had great runs in the Carolinas back then. And it was just, I liked Greg Valentine. You know, not much personality, but man, I mean, the elbow was great. Nothing fancy about him. And, you know, once again, if you ask Tony Khan, he loved Greg Valentine too.
The first match I could find between Greg the Hammer Valentine and Jimmy Snuka was 1973. So 14 years prior to this.
Wow.
It was in Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
But in 78, they started their feud in the Carolinas, and they feuded through 79 on into 80.
Well, it was, if I can interrupt you, it was Baron von Raschke and Greg Valentine, Jimmy Snuka, and Paul Orndorff. Those were the teams. And that ran through the Carolinas for the World Tag Team Championship. And I was in the Richmond Coliseum when Snuka and Orndorff won the Tag Team Championship. How about that?
By 1984, they were both in the WWF. But it is interesting to think that when you were maybe your peak fandom, 78, 79, these guys were tearing it up.
Yep. It's something else. Wow. Great memories.
Speaking of something else, the rumor and innuendos, you've got a short video to show me, and I have no idea what I'm throwing to here, Tony.
Yeah, I just wanted to, we talked about Don Callis, you know, being the shit heel he is. I think this little short video just kind of says it all about Don Callis.
Okay.
And the fans.
I love that.
I saw that. And I'm thinking, that was in Philadelphia, right? The fans right on top of us.
Yes.
And Don just clapping. Fans are going, show it again, Dave. Come on. That's worth showing again.
I mean, if you go back, I mean, we're going to watch it one more time. Count the middle fingers.
Yes.
Not just from the guy on the left, but the other people behind him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Here we go. I feel like we're playing duck hunt. 1, 2, 3, 4. There could have been 5. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
I got to thinking at one time, and this middle fingers is overdone, you know, because Moxley does it. We've seen all kinds of wrestlers do it. But then again, you know, it's almost become like the modern day thumbs down, you know?
What if you started doing like, what if you were like going to do like a dice shooting motion, like you're shooting dice? What if you were to start?
Oh yeah. Arn Anderson used to do that a lot of times.
What about that? I think that could work.
Yeah. Yeah. Throw the dice.
Hey, speaking of throwing dice, I think before we get to the top of the hour, because we're 51 minutes in, I think we've got a pre-recorded ad that we need to hit. We'll be back right after this Valentine Snuka match is complete. We're not going to pause the playback. Oh, look, we may actually get to hang around for it. I think Garvin's going to finish it off. Hey, super fly. Snuka beats Greg the Hammer Valentine, but we do have a pre-recorded ad that we've got to watch. We'll be right back.
Turner uses dynamic resistance technology to work your biceps, triceps, pecs, delts, quads, lats, and glutes. And the Tug Toner's unique design allows you to work every angle of every muscle to complete exhaustion. The Tug Toner is versatile enough to let you work out anywhere, at home, in the car, even at the office. Order the Tug Toner for only $39.95 and get a second Tug Toner absolutely free, so you can work out with a friend. The Tug Toner.
Be sure to use promo code WHW for the Tug Toner.
Seems legit to me. Of course, I would get pissed off about using something like that.
What do you mean?
I would be envious. As
Well,
in,
I mean, they're available, buy one get one free.
Yeah.
You and JR could do that together before shows at the big PLEs.
we probably could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile,
As we're watching a clip from the Brother Love show, sadly, it's only Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Bruce Pritchard still with us. Unfortunately, Scary Sherri, as we knew her back then, and the Macho Man Randy Savage no longer with us. By the way, this is probably one of my favorite looks of Savage's that he's got here. I don't know why, but I love the orange bandana that he was rocking back then that said Macho Man. But this is sort of a throwback. He used to wear these like kimono style robes and a bandana much earlier in his career. But at this point, it did feel like he had transitioned to robes. Did you have a favorite version? Like, did you like the cowboy hat and the fringe and the cowboy boots? What was your favorite?
I like the cowboy hat and the fringe on the cowboy hat and the glitter on the, I guess he had, what, it wasn't really a robe, was it, that he had? Was it a jacket? It looks like, if I recall, it just kind of hung down on him. Hung down on him. Hello, Mr. S. People asked me the other day, somebody said, what about Sherri? I said, she was so sweet, but she didn't have much to say. Hello, Mr. S. How you doing? In that Alabama voice of hers.
Hey, I know you don't follow him, or I mean, you don't even follow anybody on Twitter, but Andrew Dice Clay, he actually posted something last week that I thought was kind of neat.
Okay.
It was a receipt from where she was buying a lot of her different outfits for television. And it was, you could see like the itemized what she was buying. And I don't know, but those little behind the curtain looks at the way the sausage was made has always been fascinating to me.
Where did he get those, for crying out loud?
I didn't ask him, but it was cool.
Yeah. Jesse doing the interview, the pink curtain, right?
Yeah. What do you think about that pink curtain? I dig it.
I dig it too. I like the look. You know what? What else I noticed, and it's going to, we're going to see it when we go back to the ring. I'll bring it up. But DJ Turnup just arrived, fresh off working in one of the strip clubs in the Metro Atlanta area.
He was asking, what did I miss? Should we read him some of the commercials back?
No, we probably shouldn't. Did he miss the toner thing?
Well, that was a commercial.
Okay.
Probably just tell him to go watch it at WHW Monday on YouTube.
That's right.
By the way, the Macho Man is on his way to the ring right now. And if you are actually traveling with the Tug Toner in your car,
you
might get lit up with those reds and blues. See, life happens fast. 1 minute you're driving home from work with your Tug Toner, and the next you see flashing lights in your rearview mirror. Your heart skips, your hands tighten on the wheel, and you start asking yourself, what do I do now? Well, that's when you need someone on your side. And with the Legal Buddy app, you can connect with a local attorney in seconds, not hours, not days, but right when you need help. Whether it's a DWI, a car accident, a criminal charge, or even just a traffic ticket, the Legal Buddy app puts real legal support right in your pocket. Imagine having an attorney on call ready to guide you through some of life's most stressful moments. This isn't a call center. This isn't a waiting game. It's direct access to a lawyer who understands your situation and your community and who can step in right away. Think about it. When trouble knocks, do you want to face it alone, or would you rather have the confidence of knowing a professional is already on your side? That's the peace of mind Legal Buddy gives you. Here's how easy it is. Just download the Legal Buddy app at legalbuddyapp.com. Register today and use the code LEGAL for your chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card. Life is unpredictable. Accidents happen, tickets happen, mistakes happen. But when they do, you don't have to go through it alone. The Legal Buddy app, always on your side. Download the app today and enter the referral code LEGAL. We are watching Brutus the Barber Beefcake cut a promo backstage with Mean Gene Okerlund. And how young and in great shape is Brutus Beefcake? That might be the best he ever looked, dude.
He was in phenomenal shape. This was pre parasailing accident,
Yes,
right? Yeah,
correct. It is.
right. That, as we know,
Changed his whole life.
changed his whole life.
We listen, that robe is a lot longer than I thought on Randy Savage. That looks cool though. It is different than what I remember.
Yeah, he used to wear something that was like almost like a jacket with, did it have tails? Maybe a jacket with tails?
I mean, he had a robe. My favorite was WrestleMania 5. It said Macho Madness on the back, I think. I don't know why, but that robe, just Macho's performance on the way to WrestleMania 5 and then at 5 to go out there and wrestle with a staph infection like that in a crazy high fever. And like, nope, it's the main event of WrestleMania. I've waited my whole life for this. It's the world title at the biggest show of the year with Hulk Hogan. I'm going for it. I thought he did a phenomenal job with that.
He always took care of his gimmick.
And he invested in it. He spent money on it.
Sure did.
Speaking of spending money, I think Dave Silva is securing the receipt from Sherri Martel where she purchased some of her outfits. So we'll have that here for you momentarily, Tony. And we're about to watch Brutus Beefcake and Randy Savage hook it up. I mean, this is the third match on the show, and this arguably could have been the main event with how over Savage was.
And yeah, and obviously the fans, as you can see, were really behind Brutus here as well. I mean, they were into it.
Hot in this era, yeah.
Sure he was, yeah. Well, he was very good looking. He had a pretty good gimmick, and there you go. All right. Something I noticed that how wrestling has changed throughout the years. Take a look at the arena here, and you see the WWE or the WWF logos on the.
They're hanging on the banners and seemingly on the back walls.
Okay, right. Today, it's to promote a pay-per-view. Isn't it something how it's changed?
Yes.
I just
back then they were going for branding,
right?
And now they're clearly going call to action.
Call to action.
They're trying to do that, trying to chase that revenue, which I get.
Yeah, it's smart, and even now, you know, I have seen WWE shows heading to WrestleMania that the athlete will point to the banner, right? WrestleMania which is smart, and you always see banners. You'll see banners this week for, or at least some videos for All Out, so yeah, it's just how things have changed. There you see Saturday night's main event.
That's
amazing.
one of the things I always thought WWE did really well is they would scatter enough of that signage around. I feel like at times WCW didn't do enough of that. Like, because you see those two Saturday night's main event banners, but in the corner you had like the lit up WWF sign to the right of the screen now as we see Sherri. By the way, she's in one of her fabulous sequined red dresses there, and Silva has that receipt book. It's an old school thing. There's nothing to it, but I just wanted you to see how cool I thought that was. You know, I mean, just to be able to see her real name, her real address, and there's the date, July 17th, 1991, even her phone number. And you can see she's buying the outfit right there. $565. I don't know why that's fascinating to me, Tony, but it is.
I know it's fascinating to you, Conrad, and I get that. And I know Sherri's no longer with us, but for some reason, I guess it's because I've been in the business so long, it strikes me as invasion of privacy. And I know she's dead, so there's no privacy anymore, but
Just so you know, her son, he posts stuff. So I'm sure that her
Yeah.
son actually posted it. Just share. I don't know if you've seen, but like
No.
Richie Steamboat, he's been posting a lot of his father's stuff.
Hmm.
So pictures of like he's got a video of his kid. I'm talking about the kid who wore the dragon outfit to the ring.
Right.
His kid is wearing the dragon outfit around the house. So I
Oh,
think
okay.
that's cool that you can. So I hear what you're saying, but I also think there's a sweet piece of it too somewhere.
I agree. And if it's if the family came up with it and it's posting it, I understand that. I do. And I get it, and that's fine. But to me, when I just looked at that without knowing the backstory, it smacked with someone going through Sherri's trash can. Say, look, click. But Sherri's
Oh,
not
buddy,
around.
that's what we're gonna do. You know, at your house one day. I'm gonna get my goddamn 6-man belt one way or another.
It's pretty easy.
Oh yeah, I've heard all about it.
Yeah. So we're going to St. Louis soon, and Brian Bowringer will be there. And you should probably get your ass to St. Louis.
Oh, I'm gonna be there. It's Top Guy weekend. Top Guy weekend, low key big hog weekend in St. Louis. How fun is that gonna be?
And you'll get to meet Brian Bowringer, and you guys can work out a deal where he will call the San Diego Padres and go get the belt that he obviously gave them when he pitched for the Padres, that I gave to him, thinking that he would keep it for himself, but he gave it to the Padres. I even know the manager of the Padres very, very well. So we can work that out, and then you can fly your own ass to San Diego to pick up the belt and leave me the fuck alone about it.
I'll send him my FedEx number. Just check the mail for it.
Wow. How about that? Well,
Yeah.
Sherri stumbled that time, but still got it in with the shoe.
Hey, I mean this sincerely. Is she the greatest female manager of all time, or is there somebody better?
Have to think long and hard on that one.
I would argue she's the greatest.
I would think so. I would think so too. I mean, who would
I mean, people might say Miss Elizabeth, but she didn't really
Yeah.
do shit.
Baby Doll maybe can be up there, kind of, right?
Woman,
Woman, yeah.
Sunny.
Yeah.
But to me, it's not close.
No, she's the most active and the most, it's Marina Shafir's doing some pretty good shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, listen, I don't think you can count historically current ones.
No, you're right. But Sherri, if it was, you just watch her here for a minute. It's just so active, pounding. It gets shots over. You see, she's sweating. She's so invested in this, and she knows what to do. I mean, they talked about her getting involved, and look at this.
I'm looking at a list where people are saying things like China, Lita, and Sable. And hey, I hear you.
Yeah.
But in my head, I think of those women as wrestlers more than managers. And I know the argument is going to be, well, so is Sherri Martel. And I get that. But I think more people know Sherri Martel on a national scale. I think her greatest fame and success came as a manager. And I would argue that China's and Lita's came as an in-ring performer, if that makes sense.
I agree. And we just saw her take off her hose, choke out Brutus Beefcake, but not only choke it out, be over the top with it as she was choking it out.
Yes. She was doing all the selling. He didn't have to.
That's right. Exactly. And as Andre just said, and Sherri had no problem taking a bump. As a matter of fact, she loved it. Good stuff. Here she goes again. She's up on the apron. If everybody's at the same time code, say, Macho Man. Now she's going to take a bump. I saw it coming. We all saw it coming, taking a bump. It's just great. And look at her sell. God bless Sherri Martel.
You know, this is going to be a DQ, and I know they did that a lot back in this era. I don't not hurt either guy. Yeah. But I do think with Sherri interfering as freely as she could have, you could have beat Brutus here. I mean, he's fresh off of working with Hogan, talking about Savage in the main event.
You can beat him.
Yeah, you could beat him. But we know why they didn't, because this is one half of the main event just a few weeks from now in SummerSlam.
Right. But here's the real, good God, what a back body drop.
No doubt.
Here's the reality of wrestling, I feel, being in it and listening to people going over matches, and I think you can beat fucking anybody. You can do anything you want. You can beat anybody, and to say, oh, that's going to kill him. Bullshit. Do something the next week. If you really put some thought into it, they'll forget about it. They'll forget about the loss. Now they're sending Sherri to the back, or Macho is. And what's this about? We're going to a break. Dip to black.
You know what, Tony? You wanted Silva. You sent him a picture of something. I'm not exactly sure what. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yes, as a matter of fact, this is. I'm excited to find out that Top Guy Weekend is going to be in St. Louis. I'm going to be.
Yeah.
Going to be in St. Louis the night before. And apparently the Crack Fox with our All Elite Comedy Show, Cole Cabana and RJ City are hosting it. I'm going to be there. The Spider Tekla is going to be there. Jeff Jarrett and his beautiful wife, Karen, and the one and only Harley Cameron will all be performing on stage our comedy routines. So there you go. If you got something you want to do that night, or maybe I don't know if you got something planned for Top Guys that the night before. I'm sure you do, but this is something that you could do.
No doubt. We're going to have a lot of fun. I can't wait. And we see Zeus come into the ring now, of course. As a reminder, we're just days away from SummerSlam 89, which you've said before was maybe the biggest show you'd ever called at that point, right?
Oh, my God. Was it ever?
It was 4 weeks after this, we're July 29th is when this airs.
Right.
And the pay-per-view happens on August 28th. So how about that?
Yeah. Hey, Coach Keith has joined us. He's on vacation. Of course, it's way past his bedtime on the East Coast, but Coach Keith, we appreciate you being here. Love Tiny Lister, man. What a good guy.
Hey, let me ask you something about pay-per-views back then, because obviously we're just, as we said, about a month out from SummerSlam. And that was August 28th, as I just said. But if you have a calendar and look that up, maybe you remember, it was a Monday night, Tony.
Yeah.
And I know that the WWF often would have pay-per-views on weird nights. Of course, Survivor Series originally was always on Thanksgiving night. But that was a holiday. But the idea that there were big pay-per-views on like a Monday night or a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night, that always felt weird to me at the time, because it's like, hey, this is a school night. And then I had to remind myself, well, shit, so is Sunday.
Yeah.
What did you think of weekday shows, and then of matinee shows too? Because I know that AEW has a big matinee show coming up for All Out.
Right.
And I love those. I've been bragging about those for the last few pay-per-views because they've been international, or we know the Dallas show started earlier. I don't know, man. I really dig that. I really like the idea of doing them early.
I do too. It's just a lot of fun. The only throwback is that we're gonna have to get there at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That is okay. I would just soon do that during the day. I thought the Dallas show was great on many levels, and being a matinee show even made it better because it ended up being noon Dallas time. And you had a chance to do some things afterwards. I think we had like an after party or something like that. I'm all for it. I think it should always be like that. As far as Monday for a pay-per-view, it did not, for some reason, it didn't seem like a big deal to me, because probably a week later, you're going to be staying up watching Monday Night Football anyway. So why not stay up late and watch wrestling? That was my thought. And Coach Keith said boxing always had big fights on closed circuit on Monday nights. So that's a good comment there, Coach. And maybe maybe that's what they thought, right? It was the big night.
We're trying to push and set up the Zeus thing, and I know that a lot of adults at the time did not like it. I mean, you can go back and read the Observer and how critical Dave was of it. But as a little kid, man, I love the idea that Zeus was here. You know, he was a part of the movie, and now he's actually here. To me, like, the only thing cooler than that would have been if like Rambo or RoboCop show. Oh, wait. I guess that did happen.
It sure did. You know, when it goes back to someone criticizing something that happens in the ring, you know what the old standard line is? backstage, right?
What's that?
Who the fuck did he ever beat?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love that line.
First time I met Al Snow, that's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, who the hell did you ever beat?" Hey, Andre Canty wants to know, Tony, any AEW shows in the Atlanta area soon? You got the inside track, Tony. When are y'all coming back close to home?
I've seen the entire schedule for the month of or for this year. Atlanta is not on the schedule, but there are some TBAs on the schedule. So I think everybody, not everybody, but I think the company kind of liked what we did at the arena where the WNBA plays, which is the Gateway Arena, which is near the airport. So I would think if we're coming back to Atlanta, I would think we'll go back there. I wouldn't mind because I've been there now and I've seen, of course, I was there with QT's wrestling event.
One FW.
One FW. And he had a great crowd. I wouldn't mind going back to center stage. I never thought I would say that, but they have done a lot of work on center stage. A lot of work, and it's very, very nice now. Backstage area, that is. So I wouldn't mind seeing us go there. But we're going to be going back to Atlanta. There's no doubt. Don't think we'll see State Farm Arena, obviously, where the Hawks play, but I think we'll hopefully some of those TBAs that I see on the schedule now will be filled up with Atlanta dates. Maybe like a Wednesday, Thursday, you know.
What do you think of Zeus's? What is that? Duct tape on his wrists?
Yeah, that looks like duct tape and
Look how fired up Savage is, dude.
yeah,
He's gonna bust the damn blood vessel.
look how fired up Zeus is. That's duct tape, but it's made to look like these are like chain links, or something that Frankenstein would wear.
You want to talk about a badass match? We're about to watch one here. If you haven't already, I hope you will watch this match with us. It's 2 out of 3 falls for the tag team titles. This is one of FTR's all-time favorite tag matches. It's Demolition, who they're named after. I don't know if you know that, but Axe and Smash, Dax and Cash. Come on now.
Wow.
And of course, they pattern their boots and their style of wrestling and their tags after the Brainbusters. We know them as Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. So this is sort of their dream matchup. I know for sure that Dax holds this one in really, really high regard. I think the Observer at the time only gave it like 3.25 stars, but the hardcores of either one of these teams, they're going to love this because again, it's freaking NBC on Saturday night's main event for the tag titles. 2 out of 3 falls, badass match. Dude.
Badass match, and 3.25 or 3.5 stars. Not a bad rating if you think about it.
Of course not.
Yeah, of course. And then again, who did Dave Meltzer ever beat?
Let's mention this too. You want to talk about stars that have come through the Charlotte territory, the Carolina territory. Of course, Bill Eadie had been there as Mass Superstar.
Yep.
Gary Darso had been there as Crusher Khrushchev, one of the Russians.
Right.
And then, of course, we famously know that we're looking at half of the 4 horsemen over there with Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. I do wonder, in an alternate universe, instead of them coming over here, how do you think Bobby would have fared if he would have went to the NWA? Would wrestling have changed at all? Would anything have been different? What, if anything, would have been different if Bobby Heenan went to JCP?
I think the only thing that would have been different would have been Bobby's career. I don't think Bobby became a megastar at the WWF, and rightfully so, because he was today, even there are some people backstage I talked to, and Heenan is revered as the best ever.
Yes.
I think that would have hurt his career. I really think, even though we were on TBS and even though we had that big clearance, I think, and I only say this because I made the move from JCP to WWF. I knew that in my career, and there was no doubt in my career that was a big step up. I was no longer on TBS. It was a big step up. I think for Bobby Heenan, that would have been a big step down. I don't think he would have been as big a star had he gone down to JCP. Just like he leaves the AWA, right, and comes here. If you reverse that, it was almost like, and I hate to say this because please, no one take this the wrong way, because you know how I feel about David Crockett, and you know what the Crockett's mean to me. Um, I'll even tell you a story about Jimmy in just a second. But it almost feels like, in many ways, the AWA, the NWA, once Vince went national, it almost felt like that we were feeders to them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And this is where they became big stars. Now, I know, obviously, the guys came back and WCW had a hell of a run and, pushed Vince and, was on top of the world at one time. But during this era, the 80s, it was almost, when Vince went national, it was like everybody else was a feeder. So the story about Jimmy, I don't know if I've ever told you this or not. If I have, you can stop me, or you can let it go because it's worth telling again. Jimmy, as we know, not too long after you did that interview with him, passed away. He had kidney failure. And David called me on the phone and put me on speaker with Jimmy. And this was like on his dying bed. And Jimmy couldn't talk. And I told Jimmy, I said, everything that I am as a wrestling announcer and as an employee in wrestling is because of you and David and Francis and the whole family. And I said, there's not a day that goes by, and it's true, that I don't think about what you've meant to me. And I just wanted to let you know that I love you, and you're the reason that I've had the success I've had, because you trusted me, you gave me that chance, and I just wanted to let you know. And that's kind of one of those moments in life that you tear up when you talk about it, and one of those moments in life that you'll never forget. So it means a lot to me that David would call and I would be on the line with Jimmy. And David said he can't really talk, but he's nodding. He understands. He knows what you're talking about. So I just want to get that. I don't know if I ever told that story here or not.
No, I knew the story. You and I had
Yeah.
talked about it off air, but I don't think you've ever aired it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you shared that. And man, we just think the world of Mr. Crockett. We had him live earlier today on adfreeshows.com, and he's actually made a commitment. We're going to do that every month. So you too can hang out with a member of Wrestling Royalty and hang out with Mr. David Crockett once a month live and interact on Zoom. So go see Mr. Crockett and relive some of the good old days.
Yeah.
Tony, I know that, this is something that you and I don't think have ever watched together, talking about this 2 out of 3 falls match with the Brainbusters and Demolition. But, I've done a bunch of content for adfreeshows.com with Tully Blanchard. And one of the things we did is we talked about Barry Darsow and this match in particular, just Demolition. And really it was all about how much fun they had. Of course, Tully did not have a lot of fun working with the WWF. He wasn't thrilled with the schedule or the pay. And he grew frustrated. And we know that we're really near the tipping point of that here in July of '89. But they are going to put the belts on him, seemingly to placate him here. So it should be a major moment in his career or in his life, but he's still frustrated with the schedule and the pay. But I think he was so focused on what was going on with him or not going on with him that maybe he missed something that happened in this match. And I wanted to air a clip from my interview with Tully Blanchard about this. And it happened either earlier this year or late last year.
Okay.
And we'll see what he's going to reference in this clip.
Okay.
Take a listen. In the third fall, Arn pin Smash in 12 and a half minutes after he hit Smash in the back of the head with a chair that was thrown into the ring by Andre. And then afterwards, Jesse Ventura is going to do a backstage interview with the entire Heenan family in a celebration. But maybe the story of this is maybe there was some hurt feelings about the chair shot. I think we actually have a clip of Smash talking about that chair shot. I want you to hear what Barry Darsow had to say, and then I'd love to hear your perspective.
Well, I think what it was, it was intentional, but not intentional to hurt me. You know what I mean?
I think it was a big match, and you get excited over different things, and it's on camera. And when the camera's on the finish, and it's it's ISO'd right in on you, when you're watching the TV, you know that part of the match is the most important part, and all the cameras are going to get that angle. You want to lay it in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think he laid it in, and probably laid it in a little bit too hard because I got hurt, but it looked great. But I cracked a vertebrae in my neck, I chipped 4 teeth, and I had a concussion, and I was out cold, and he never even knew that. He just thought he whacked me with the chair. Well, I was laying there, and I remember Bill hit me in the face going, "Hey, we got to get out of the ring. The match is over." And I'm looking at him. I thought, what the hell is going on? I was out cold, and I got up, and my jaw was killing me. I mean, I was hurt, and Bill got me out of the ring, and we came back, and I remember Vince looking at me going, "Holy shit, that was a hell of a match," and all that. And back then, I didn't want to tell people I was hurt or anything because, if you end up taking days off, somebody else comes in your position, and we were the top dogs at the time. So, I should have went to the hospital and probably should have had a few days off or whatever. But, right away, the next day we're in the next town, and Bill covered for me for a couple of weeks, but I was in real bad shape. And I didn't tell my wife. Not for a long time, because she would have made me come home right away, But I ended up getting over it. But to this day, I'm not right. I used to be math numbers. I was like I was a genius, but I mean I was really good with numbers. You could ask me anything, and I could come up with whatever it would be. And I can hardly remember phone numbers now. Anything with numbers, it's bad. And you asked me about different things that go on. I can remember them, but I can't remember them. And some things I can't remember at all. And I don't know if that's just from getting old now or what, but ever since then, it's been weird. I hurt a lot, and I got headaches all the time. My neck's bad. I'm a mess.
Man, it's funny because as fans, we just look at the match and talk about, man, what a great match that is. I think sometimes we forget, hey, this is a real human being, and this is not ballet. And occasionally there are repercussions for this gamble you take when you become a professional wrestler. When did you know that, oh, wow, I meant to swing the chair, but I don't think I meant to do it quite like that. This is not the result we hoped for. I know you wouldn't intentionally hurt anybody, but did you know immediately, or do you find out backstage that
I didn't find out that he was injured that bad until I just listened to that.
Oh wow.
I know that we had talked about it, and he said, be sure you lay that in.
Yeah.
And I said, for all the reasons that he said, I said, okay, I will. And I did, and had no idea that I've never hurt anybody in the ring. And
right.
That was that just crushes me right there, because Barry is a wonderful guy and would never want to injure anybody, because the whole art form is to look like you're hurting people with not hurting people.
Right.
And but it was and we all worked together in the nights afterwards to make sure that he didn't, because the concussion part we knew, I knew that, and but golly, I took pride in the fact that not hurting people, but looking like you hurt people.
Yes.
And certainly not would I ever intentionally hit somebody with a chair and try to damage them.
Wow.
I took.
What do you think?
That's some hardcore shit right there. And I'm not talking about the chair. I'm talking about what happened to Barry Darsow that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tully was shocked to hear it, see it.
Yeah.
Just wow, what a moment. And we're going to see that chair shot here in a minute, right?
That's right. Yes. That's what's going to finish the match. If you're wondering, we're tied at 1 apiece right now.
Right.
The Brainbusters stole the victory in the first one. The Demolition get their hands raised in the second fall. So now we're heading to our third and final fall. Demolition came in as the tag champs. Brainbusters are going to walk away with it. We know eventually Demolition will get it back, and they are even going to work with Andre and Haku in the following year. So,
okay,
believe it or not, these belts that you're going to see Arn and Tully sporting here shortly, one of those belts is the only belt Andre the Giant ever had in the WWF. Isn't that wild to think about?
Yes, it is wild to think about.
Because you just assume, well, he was world champ a bunch. Nope, not technically at all. Well, he wasn't intercontinental. Wait, that was his only tag. What?
I just with Andre was more of
an
attraction that went everywhere. You know, I know he was booked by Vince and his dad, and he was this, but he wasn't until the run with Hogan, he was not, I don't think, a real fixture on a regular basis in the WWE or WWF or WWF territory. He was in the Carolinas. He went, in the territory days, he went all over because, hey, he was an attraction. Now, not like Giant Gonzalez, but he was an attraction.
Megan remembers, I've asked her because she's told me before that she had dinner with Andre as a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, was that at his house or your house? And she said, no, I never went to his farm, but he came to our house. And she remembers as a little girl, like his wedding ring. He maybe not a wedding ring, but he was wearing a ring. And just a ring he had was like almost a bracelet for her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a huge, huge human being.
Right.
By the way, if you're watching, I think we're just moments away from the chair shot. Here it comes. Andre has just slid the chair to Tully and bam, right over the top of the head. It doesn't look like much, but as we heard, boy, it is devastating. Arn drapes the arm over. Joey Morello makes a 3 count. Andre and Bobby the Brain Heenan celebrate. Brainbusters are your tag champs.
Okay, I just saw it. I'm a little bit behind you.
Now that you know, it's crazy, isn't it?
He got fucking whacked, dude.
Yeah, he did. But if you weren't looking for it, I mean, hell, you're working for the company at the time, and you had no idea, just like Tully didn't.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually there. I'm with the company, and so I was at all televisions.
Sure.
So I'm there backstage somewhere, and when you know it's coming, it's
here it comes in slow-mo now. Watch.
It's 10 times worse. Okay.
Let me hear the commentary. Oh, look at the dent it leaves in the chair, bro. Oh, yeah, there he is. Exactly what he told us.
Yeah.
Bill slapping him saying, hey, man, we lost. The match is over. We got to get the hell out of the ring. Dude, this whole time, when you would watch that previously, you probably just think he's doing a gimmick like he's knocked out. You don't know. Oh, no, he's really knocked out.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to Bad Money Slim, who says, Conrad, y'all please don't miss out on some amazing, absolute content or absolutely amazing content available only on ad-free shows. This is what you call Full Circle Jones. That is kind of cool that we're watching the show, and we just recently had that interview with Tully. It really shows you just how real all of this is and how little, respectfully, some of us fans know. We think we know what's going on, but then you see something like this, and you're like, man, I've watched this 100 times and I had no idea.
And of course, this is, I don't know if they ever show this when they talk to wrestlers, but wrestlers are now talked to about concussions and
yes,
chair shots, and those are basically no-nos, outlawed as far as wrestling commentators are concerned.
Yes.
And then again, you can't really control what the ultimate thing is going to happen. And I say that not because I'm saying that guys aren't. What camera are you looking at? There you go. I can't say because guys are going into business for themselves. I can say that because in the heat of the moment, and fans are going crazy, and you're spent, and things are exciting, and you've pushed. Sometimes things like that happen. They do. But there's repercussions for hitting people in the head with chair now. As a matter of fact, there should be. That's why you see a lot of chair shots in the back now, and those aren't easy to take either.
No, but there's less likely to be a permanent
Concussion,
long-term issue.
Right. And guys going through tables, Darby Allin doing crazy shit that he does. Oh, I love Darby. He is just so, I don't know.
He's genuine. I'll tell you that.
Genuine person.
Hey, Tony, I wanted to ask you about this building in particular. This show is taped in Worcester. The Centrum.
Yeah.
But you would film primetime wrestling and All-American Wrestling and WWF Superstars and Saturday night's main event. So just a marathon taping.
Yeah.
But tell me about Worcester and what you thought of it as a wrestling town.
Well, I thought anything in the Northeast, and especially in Massachusetts, was great. Providence was great. Worcester was great. Obviously, Boston, that area was wonderful. And by the way, we're going to be going to Boston, back at Boston University here soon. I always thought it was a great area for wrestling and great fans. And as a baseball guy, working with the Atlanta Braves and working with their AAA team, we had a lot of games in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, which was an incredible facility. And now the team has moved to Worcester. They used to be called the Paw Sox, and now they're the Woo Sox. I always thought it was great area. Great area.
Well, Tony, we're closing down Saturday night's main event with a Hulk Hogan promo. But before we get out of here, I feel like we do need to address the elephant in the room. There were images posted over the weekend of your likeness, and I don't know if you saw this or not.
No, I didn't.
But allegedly, the photos were taken in Long Island, New York.
Okay.
And here's maybe what one of those photos looks like.
All right, go ahead.
In theory, we would have it there.
Okay.
So now listen, I don't pretend to know everything that's going on in this photo, but I think right dead center, I see Tony Khan.
Right. It
To
looks like
our left, his right, that looks like MJF.
Right.
And on the other side, that looks like MJF's father.
Right.
Now, if we keep scooting over to
I guess I don't know MJF's father, so I'll take your word for that guy.
It is.
Okay.
Next to the smoke show known as Penelope Ford, not her handsome ass husband, Kip Sabian, but the other fellow near her.
Right.
He has a striking resemblance to one Anthony Schiavone.
Let me stare at this picture.
Does that look like you?
It does look like me, but that's not me.
So it's not you.
No, it's not. What are you trying to, that I was in some building with MJF, or?
I'm trying to just make sure.
Yeah.
And we can decide right now. I'm going to give you two options.
Okay.
We can discuss it next week here on the program.
Mm-hmm.
And for something I like to call Wrestler's Court. Are you familiar with this?
I'm familiar with Kangaroo Court. Okay.
Well, I have a judge in mind. He's a fair judge.
Oh, please.
No, he is an independent third party.
No. Okay. We're not doing that. First of all, bring the picture back up. I was not in Long Island this weekend, and I want to tell you what's going on here. Okay. That's AI.
That's AI.
That's AI. So, or that's either Photoshop. That's either AI or Photoshop. I was not there. And what was this event?
Allegedly, this is MJF marrying his bride Alicia.
So you're
Okay.
thinking what you're thinking that I would be at MJF's wedding? Why would I be at that son of a bitch's wedding? He's a horrible person. He's pushed me down.
Do you see my point now? Do you see why I'm so frustrated, ladies and gentlemen? Next week, right here on What Happened When.
I'm not going to be part of this court because this is either you having one of your friends Photoshop it in.
It's not.
Or an AI. I wasn't there. I would never go to his.
Hang on.
And not only that, come on, he didn't get married. Who in the hell would marry him?
Alicia.
Alicia who?
She works for AEW. She's backstage. Her name is Alicia Friedman.
Alicia Toot?
Well, she was last week.
The girl that does interviews backstage, she's really good. You're saying she didn't marry him?
Well, he called her Tits McGee, Tony.
Well,
he said she was from Whore Island.
Well, then you think she would marry him?
Well,
are we trying to say put that damn picture back up?
Hang on. I'm glad. Yes, do throw the picture back up there.
Picture back up. Do you
because if you look on the right hand side in the second row, just in front of Max Caster, I wish we could zoom on here because if we could zoom, you would see that is the nose and eyes and eyebrows and hairline of the last Outlaw Double J.
Well, they probably photoshopped him too.
Wait, so you're saying that even though I talked to him at length today,
I'm saying it's a lie. Nobody would. He's a horrible person.
I'm not arguing.
Number one, nobody would ever marry him. Number two, if they would marry him, they would probably go off somewhere to where no one would know they were married. Why would he have some sort of extravagant thing like this? And number three, that ain't me. That's AI. And I'm not going to sit here and be put in front of a kangaroo court with a piece of shit judge. I ain't doing it. Innocent. End of story. That's not me. I would never go to that guy's wedding. How badly he pushed me down. He said things about my family. He's called me fat. He's a horrible human being. No one would marry him, and I would never go to his wedding. So stop with your Photoshop bullshit, Conrad Thompson, and your AI bullshit, and let's move on and talk about wrestling right now or
Tony,
next week.
Tony,
what?
You a lie. And we are desperately out of time. Thanks for tuning in here on Mondays at patreon.com/WHW Monday and also adfree shows.com. But also every week
on son of a bitch. And
Libsyn, the one, the only. What happened when?
Nope.
Wrestler's Court Edition next week.
Okay. Best some bitch, motherfucker.
SaveWithConrad.com.
My name is Rajiv. I'm in Sacramento, California. I came to Save with Conrad because I've heard Conrad talk about how he helps people all the time save money and the best route to go for getting some mortgages and finances done. And having heard so many different testimonials in the past, it made the most sense to go this route. We were in the market for a new house and we wanted to know what we could afford. So we spoke with Steve and then Diane to get through the pre-approval process to see what we could afford. And then once we were able to understand that aspect of it, that was when we were able to shop around for a house to get a mortgage through Save with Conrad. Everybody on the team was great. Everybody really explained everything fully to where it was more in like layman's terms to where I could understand it as someone not in the business or having shopped around for houses too many times. So being able to understand every step of the process and talking with everyone on the team about that was really, really helpful. And it made me feel really confident that I was going the right route. I would definitely recommend Save with Conrad to others. I know that sometimes people look at it and they go, oh, they're based in Alabama. What could they help me with? But I'm out here in California and they were able to square everything away and get things done really quickly, as opposed to sometimes even people out here don't move as quickly as the Save with Conrad team. So everything was really well done, really efficient, and I would definitely recommend Save with Conrad to others. My name is Rajiv. I'm in Sacramento, California, and I was able to get into my dream home with SaveWithConrad.com.
Available, that's number 212, non-equal housing lender. SaveWithConrad.com.